Hello, all. I hope that you're having a great afternoon and a happy new year. Welcome to the Live Healthy Miami Gardens Facebook Live weekly health and wellness series brought to you by the City of Miami Gardens, Live Healthy Miami Gardens. My name is Ketia S. I'm Community Health Data Specialist at JTCHS Community Health System, Program Manager for our Breastfeeding Touchpoint Program, member with Live Healthy Miami Gardens, and your host for today. The goal of our weekly wellness series is to bring our community information and resources to help us make the healthiest choices possible for ourselves as a Miami Gardens community and our families. Live Healthy Miami Gardens was born from the realization that although health is largely influenced by our individual choices, the conditions in the communities where we live, learn, work, worship, and play are also major contributing factors to the racial and ethnic health disparities and healthcare disparities faced, as well as our overall ability to make healthier choices. We know that these conditions are systemic, historical, and continue to impact us as communities of color and as a whole here and now. Live Healthy Miami Gardens is a community initiative and part of the city's efforts to address these conditions and reduce poor health outcomes through the transformation of policies, our environment, and the healthcare system overall, making the city of Miami Gardens a healthier place to be. Today's topic will be on preparing for breastfeeding initiation. So with breastfeeding initiation, I'm going to present on 5 steps to prepare for initiating breastfeeding. I'm just going to wait for the... Okay, you can go to the next slide. So the 5 steps to prepare for breastfeeding initiation are to determine the goal, establish your support system, create a birth plan, engage in the golden hour, and overcome challenges. And the first step, and these steps are to be taken before the baby arrives, and to help better equip you. And this also comes with the education, the support that you receive before the baby arrives, to ensure that you as the mom, baby, and family have as successful of a breastfeeding experience as possible. So the first step, is to determine your goal. What this does is it allows you, your baby, and your family the best options of being supported in your breastfeeding experience. This is done by ensuring that the necessary breastfeeding resources are tailored to and available for your baby's needs. So this includes asking yourself questions such as, what would you like to receive? Would you like to reduce the baby's risk of sickness short term? Reduce baby and mom's risk of chronic disease long term? Would you like convenience, cost effectiveness, opportunity to bond, ability to breastfeed? And this includes bottle feeding breast milk after returning to work. And I'm just naming all the benefits that already come with breastfeeding, but this can also be help encourage you to understand, to better confirm and affirm why you want to breastfeed and what are your goals in breastfeeding. You can also consider what you would like to give to your baby. This can include offering breast milk exclusively for the baby's first 6 months of life, or even the first 6 weeks of life. And although the gold standard is 6 months to exclusively breastfeed, the point here is to at least establish that first milestone. And if you want to commit to, I want to breastfeed my baby for at least the first 6 weeks, and then go move into the next 6 weeks up until that of the first 6 months exclusively, then that's the steps you can put down as your goal. And you can work on how you meet that goal with your care team, your doula, and your family. Your goals can also include the child's dad or your significant other, the grandparents and siblings alike, having a chance to bottle feed a baby breast milk. And just overall giving the baby the most optimal chances for development and health. And for how long, this is all again up to you. The golden standard is the first 6 months of life for exclusive breastfeeding. For beyond that point, you can breastfeed your baby for up to a year, 2 years. You can decide just up until you and your baby are ready to wean. There are families who breastfeed um, up until the baby is 4 years old. And if you're just going on along for the ride, that's good. That's okay too. But just ensure that you're determining that goal, that which will again help ensure that the resources are tailored and are in place for your breastfeeding needs. The next step is establishing your support system. Now, this is again deciding who is your support system. Where do you need your support system to be available, and how you need to be supported. And your support system can again include the child's father and or your significant other, the grandparents and godparents, your other children, your lactation consultant or counselor, a doula, the clinical team of the mom and baby alike, like your OB specialist as well as the pediatrician, and even your employer, to ensure that you have a space to lactate once you return to work or when you return to school. Deciding when and where you need to be supported. This can be at home. This could be in the hospital. Again, this can be at work, at the store, when you go out to date night, in the morning, evenings, and overnight. And again, you might not need to be supported in all of these areas, but in determining where you need that support can help determine how you are supported. And how that support looks can be taking turns feeding the baby, the day-to-day chores, so you can have time as a mom to rest or to breastfeed, and ensuring the daycare has proper breast milk handling and storage protocols, ensuring your employer, again, gives you break time and a private space to pump breast milk. Your support system is an entrusted group of people, your village, to help fulfill your needs and reinforce your request to meet your goals throughout your breastfeeding journey. The third step is to create the birth plan. Now, this isn't just for breastfeeding, but in establishing a birth plan, this does include what you would like to do as far as once what happens before the baby gets here, as well as once the baby arrives. A birth plan is a guide to let your care team and even your support system know, one, who you are as a person and patient, and two, what your desires are upon labor, delivery, and newborn care. This step allows for your care team to know and honor your plan for a positive delivery and breastfeeding experience, and for your support system to assist and reinforce this. Especially worst case scenario, which we don't hope this is the case, but especially in the event that you as a mom may feel like your plan is being ignored. To prepare for a breastfeeding initiation, feel free to request holding the baby immediately after birth, to engage in skin-to-skin contact, in which we'll discuss a little bit later, to only feed your baby breast milk and not infant formula, which is your right, and to have a lactation consultant help you breastfeed as seen under newborn care, which again is also your right. This is one of many examples of a birth plan template. Some are written out as seen here. Others, as you'll see in the next slide, use icons so that it's visually clear. Or in the next slide, I'm sorry, the one following that one. So that it's visually clear what your requests are. You can reach out to your breastfeeding specialist, doula, or OB to create a birth plan. There are also templates online, and you can just tailor the birth plan to, again, your needs, your desires, and to make sure those needs are communicated, executed, and fulfilled. The fourth step is to engage in golden hour. The golden hour is the first hour after the birth, after the baby is born, and is the uninterrupted skin-to-skin contact time between mom and baby, and where baby-led breastfeeding is initiated. Skin-to-skin contact is important for both mom and baby because it stabilizes baby's heart rate, and body temperature, reduces baby's risk of low blood sugar levels and infection, promotes bonding, reduces stress levels in both mom and baby, and increases mom's responsiveness to oxytocin hormone, which is the feel-good hormone, which also increases milk supply. The beauty of skin to skin contact, or tummy time, as some call it, is that the family, such as dad, grandma, and siblings, can also participate in tummy time with baby as well. So, although a lot of this information is tailored to the breastfeeding experience, family members who might not be the mom can also partake in this experience and have an opportunity to bond with baby in unique ways. So the 9 instinctive stages of breastfeeding include the birth cry, the relaxation phase, the awakening, activity, resting, crawling, familiarization, suckling, and sleeping. And here you see images that correlate to these nine instinctive stages. Some of these, for example, the resting stage might jump around, and this is just what to expect upon delivery, and to expect and to have a baby-led or baby-initiated breastfeeding experience. So again, the part that we all look forward to when the baby is born is the birth cry, where the baby, of course, takes in the first breath of air, and then we'll have the relaxation phase, and at this time, of course, everyone is exhausted, including the baby. This is the time that mom and baby relaxes, and baby generally doesn't move around too much. And if you go to the next slide for awakening, or the next slides for awakening, the baby now makes small movements of the head, limbs, and shoulders. And then the next step is activity. The infant moves limbs and head around. The baby is also more determined to move, pushing with his or her limbs without shifting the body too much. And the baby again goes back to resting. With some activities such as mouth activity, the baby may suck on his or her hand, move his feet around, may look around. And again, this part may jump around within what's identified as the 9 instinctive stages of breastfeeding. And then you have the crawling stage, where the baby continues to be active. And then the familiarization stage, where infant has reached the areola or nipple area with the mouth position to brush and lick the areola or the nipple. The next stage is the suckling, where the infant has taken the areola, and not just the nipple, just to be clear, the entire areola and the baby's mouth, and begins suckling. And after the baby has initiated breastfeeding, and taken that first taste of what's also called the liquid gold or colostrum, the baby then closes his or her eyes and fall asleep. And again, this may take it generally takes an hour. You can expect between 45 to 65 minutes for this process to take place. Some steps may take longer or shorter time than others. During this time, if you need additional support, it is advised to have, again, a lactation consultant or a breastfeeding specialist and or a doula with you to help support you in this stage, because we do want you and baby to have a successful breastfeeding experience, but to also have this baby initiated. And there might be some challenges to this could be expected. We will hope not. We'll hope for hoping for the best. We'll also prepare for, any challenges that may come. And that also includes the need to pump feed if the baby is in the neonatal ICU or intensive care unit. Breastfeeding multiples, which isn't a bad thing. It's just it does become a challenge when you are breastfeeding multiples, whether that's twins, triplets, or you have an older child who is still breastfeeding and trying to figure how to initiate or continue with tandem feeding. And we have, if you look at our previous Facebook Lives, we have information that can support you in all of these areas. And the most current and recent challenge that all of us are experiencing right now is with doing our normal day-to-day tasks, which includes breastfeeding, but with the COVID-19 pandemic and taking those safety precautions. Just to give heads up, so with COVID-19, whether you're taking take the vaccine or you already have the antibodies in place from when a previous contraction of COVID-19, the antibodies in place just with all other antibodies will help boost the baby's immune system upon breastfeeding. Now, when it comes to the other precautions, like if you actively have COVID-19, of course, you still want to wear the safety mask and take the other safety precautions, but it is safe. I guess to cut it short, it is safe to breastfeed the baby. And some resources you can also look into, again, the previous Facebook Lives. If you want to learn a little bit more about NICU and pump feeding, you can look at our Art of Breastfeeding Facebook Live, where one of our artists, who's also a pump feeding mom, shared her experience and journey and how she navigated that with her baby in NICU. You can look at multiples in breastfeeding. Our Facebook Live is actually, I believe, titled Feeding Multiples. You can also look at resources such as WIC Miami-Dade, La Leche League, Metro Miami Agency, the Office on Women's Health, Breastfeed Miami. We have many resources locally, statewide, and nationally that can help support you in overcoming challenges, but just also navigating day-to-day tasks when it comes to and day-to-day challenges or just events that come with the breastfeeding and lactation experience. And we thank you again for joining us today. Again, my name is Ketia S. You could catch the Live Healthy Miami Gardens Facebook Live every Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. The breastfeeding masterclasses on fourth Tuesdays. And if you need any breastfeeding support resources, you can access it through JTCHS Breastfeeding Touchpoint Program Linktree, which is www.linktr.ee/JT Breastfeeding. And thank you, and I hope all of you have a great rest of your day.